All right, good to be here. Good to have you all here today. What a good looking crowd. This might be the best looking crowd I've ever had. Of course, no one's here, so the bar's a little bit lower for everybody. But regardless, good looking crowd. Glad you're with me at Jimmy's Quarantine Comedy Club. I don't know if you noticed the sign when we started there, but I did that myself. I had no outside help. I had a piece of paper, a piece of tape, and a crayon. So, not even a good crayon, by the way. I want to make note of that. It was I'm not one of the cool kids with the 64-pack sharpener installed crayons. I never had those. We got our crayons from a dime store. Back then, we were so poor, we didn't have a dollar store. We had a dime store, and that's where we got them. And the crayon was even broken, right? As I was making it, it broke, but I was okay. The paper, it held it together. You know how that works, and you got to just hold it there for a little while. And the good news is that paper can be used later due to the toilet paper shortage, so that's good news. So I my own burnt sienna, so to speak. So it is good to be here. Like I said, I'm glad you guys are being healthy and staying put like we should. It's tough. It is very tough to do this. I know it. I mean, it's a little easier, I guess, for my age group, you know. In the 40 and over, 50 and over crowd, we remember this as being grounded. It was pretty normal back in the day for us. I mean, nowadays, timeouts, 15 minutes in your room with a phone and video games, yeah, piece of cake. Back when we were kids in the 70s, it was no joke. Mom was the warden, and it was 2 weeks minimum. 2 weeks minimum with no phone, no friends, nothing at all. You stayed home and you stared at a corner of the wall is what you did, right? After your 2 weeks grounding on some trumped up charges that Mom made up, the warden, you came out about 10 pounds lighter and with a little twitch. That was being grounded back in the day, right? I mean, after we're done with all this, chances are I'm going to be about 10 pounds heavier and maybe a little hairier. It's happening. I don't know why, but it's happening. So we should be counting our blessings a little bit, folks. We should be. I mean, honestly, we got technology nowadays. Back in the 70s, had this happened and we were grounded into our homes, we would have one TV with 4 channels, all black and white, and only 2 of the channels worked. So it was tough back then. I mean, we're lucky to have what we have to get us through the day. I mean, talking about TVs, by the way. When I was a kid, I don't want to brag or anything today, but we had 2 TVs when I was growing up. I mean, we had the big console TV, took up half the living room, about 500 pounds, made out of solid oak, with a 6-inch screen in the middle of it that no one could see. That was, and then we had our second TV that would sit on top of the console TV that actually worked. That was the, and there was no remote control, by the way. The control we had was the pair of pliers that sat on the console TV that would allow us to change the channel on the TV on top of it. The console TV was not going anywhere. That was furniture at this point. We dusted it, we had knickknacks on it, and it was staying as long as the carpet stayed, because the carpet was ruined underneath it to begin with. So that was the TVs back when we were young, right? So be happy, I guess, that we at least can be entertained by what we have now, right? Blessing 1, right? So Now, move on to the phones, right? Everybody's got a phone. Everybody. You're probably watching me on a phone right now if you haven't already shut me off. It's possible that that's happened. But if you're still watching, it might be on a phone. Everybody in every family has some kind of phone, right? So I'm not sure why I did that, but either way, some kind of phone in their hands. Now, when I was a kid, we had one phone. It was a kitchen phone. It was on the wall. It was a rotary dial, and no one was allowed to use it. That was the phone in the house, right? There was long distance charges. There was all sorts of rotary dial, for God's sakes. I mean, first of all, you weren't allowed to use. If you had two legs, you can walk down the street and talk to Carl face to face. I don't care about the creepy ice cream man that talks to you a lot. You need some fresh air, young man. Run along. So those were the days, right? No phone calls. And if you did have to dial a phone, God forbid there was a 9 or an 8 in it, you might end up doing a rotary dial hiccup about halfway and have to start over and listen for that dial tone, right? Or if you get through all the dial and then it's a busy signal. You young kids, you guys don't even know what a busy signal is. Let me tell you what a busy signal is. It's this. Yeah, that's what you got when you're dialing a friend and someone else was talking on their phone. It was horrible. Now there's no such thing as busy signals, right? You can do whatever you want. And let me tell you something. Radio dial-in contests. How hard was that with the rotary dial? You had to wait. You had to usually do a area code, the 3, and then you had to do 6 more numbers after that before you hit that 7th number, and you're just praying to God that the DJ is going to say, okay, next caller now, and you can finish that last number. You never could. And that's why they always had the radio contest be the winner of the very first caller. There was no way. There was no way they were going to go to the second or third caller. It would take all day. So it's mind-boggling. So what we have now, again, is fantastic. I love it. We have each other. We have technology. We can contact each other. We got to do that right now. We got dogs. It's fantastic. Oh, it was great. I do love that I lived in the 70s, though. It was a great time. I mean, 40 and over crowd were survivors. We are survivors. Most of us didn't know what a seatbelt was until we were in our teenage years. I mean, my dad knew what it was when I was younger. It was a sign of weakness. That's what the seatbelt was. My dad's idea of seatbelt safety was, hey, tuck that thing between the cushions back there before you sit on it and hurt yourself. That is what seatbelt safety was. My car seat when I was a kid was the hump on the back floorboard. That's what that was. It was a hump on the back floorboard. There was no buckling up in the McGowan house. No. How could I hand my dad another Pabst Blue Ribbon if I'm buckled up back there? That's inefficient. That's what that is. We had the station wagon. We had the 77 Caprice Classic station wagon. Had the seat in the very far back that would flip up and face the oncoming drunk drivers. That's what I didn't care though. I really did. I loved it. I was stoned. Nah, not on drugs. No. On the regular leaded gasoline fumes coming in through the back window. That's where I was stoned. Dad would be like, hey, Jimmy, sniff up back there. We're going to go home and lick the paint on the bedroom wall later. Oh my gosh, with the lead. By the time I was 14, I was pooping out lead pencils. And that is where they came up with the number 2 pencil, by the way. So that is a few little knickknacks for you guys. Hopefully it made you laugh or smile or or turn the channel. I don't know, but I am glad I could maybe make you smile today and during these times. I want you to remember to stay in, stay put, be healthy, because I want to see you guys all very soon. Make sure you say thank you to all the people that are helping. You got nurses out there, you got doctors and healthcare workers, you got truckers driving things around for you, you got grocery store people, you got local restaurants that need your help. You should do all that because we are going to all be back together real soon, going to these places. And these people are out there, while we're having to deal with maybe being inside for a while, they are actually out there making sure we can survive right now and putting themselves at risk. So thank those people. And then if you have some kind of talent, whether it's dancing, singing, telling a joke, whatever it is, post it. Make me laugh, make me smile, make me be happy, whatever it is. But call everybody and love everybody. I love you guys. Thank you very much. Hope you had fun.